So today is a summary of what we've been doing the last 3 sessions. We are in chapter 1 of this book, Live Your Dream in 7 Ds. And of the 7 Ds, the first is dream. And we started by saying, by discussing, why do you get what you don't want? And the reason we came up with was that people are not clear about what they want. One of the strangest truths in life is that you cannot achieve what you do not know. You cannot get what you do not expect. And this is true in the visible as in the invisible realms of life. To expect is to get. And the key word here is clear. That is the starting point towards living your dream. Because the aim of this book is to enable you to be able to live your dream. It means you must have a dream in the first place before you set out to achieve it. And be clear, make it clear in your mind. You see, most times we will get what we are clear about. If we are clear about what we do not want, then that is what we will get. And that is the reason we keep getting many people, not me nowadays, many people keep getting that which they do not want. They keep getting that which they do not want because they are not clear about that which they want. And that essentially is much of what our first topic is. As much as possible, ensure you're absolutely clear about what you want. And this is a natural law that there is nothing much you can do about it. You will keep wondering why we have more weeds than the crops. It's because we are not clear about what crops we want in our garden. We leave it and it will grow something. So our inner world creates our outer world. It means it is what's going on inside us, what is clear in our mind that will be able to manifest outside. So your work is to be crystal clear about where you want to be, where you want to go, the person you want to become, and what type of life you'd like for yourself. What is your dream? And that is what the prophet was told, Prophet Habakkuk in the Bible, to write his vision down and make it clear. In order that whoever reads it may get it clearly, may run. And that brings us to this summary, which I made here. If only I know where I am going, then no one will hold my loin. For in my favor, even the winds will blow. And to achieve it, my ability will grow. So long as I know where I'm going. Otieno Paul Peter. We've got to know where we are going. Otherwise, we will never get there. So success in many ways is like a journey. Whenever we set out to go to a particular destination, we are very clear and precise about every detail. And that is what we've got to do with our dreams. We've got to be clear about them, because if we are not clear, we are going to get that which we are clear about. We are going to get that which we are clear about. I wasn't clear about which school I wanted to go to, and so I got the school I did not want, but I was clear about. And I was clear about the university I wanted to go to, and I ended up there. And that is exactly what I'm talking about here. Yeah, in my Form 4, it was obvious that I had to start the secondary school syllabus all over again. And because I was just rejoining school after over a year out of school. But that did not stop my dream from manifesting, because I was clear. I kept saying, Mimi naenda jiji, and I'm going to the city. And that's the university which I wanted to join. So again, we also learned what you resist persists, because most times we resist it in our minds by telling ourselves, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this, I don't want to go to the hospital, I don't want to be sick, I don't want to get accident, I don't want to be married, whatever. That is none of your business. Your business is get clear about what you are. So if we continue to think about, meditate on what we do not want, that's the reason we will continue to get what we do not want, because what we resist persists. Again, there was this law of use and disuse. What we do not use, we lose. We lose. If we do not use our capacity to think, we're going to lose it. And whatever happens in your life on the outside has a direct relationship with what is within. And that is why we're saying our inner world creates our outer world. And so we've got to keep that in mind. What we resist persists. Now, in the second session, we discussed how to create something from nothing. And we know that everything, even the universe, was created by the Almighty from nothing. Yes, we all are co-creators, and we can do that. Everything, even if it's a house, yeah, first of all, you will make it clear in your mind, and people draw them and have blueprints, have architectural design, so that it's clear in your mind. The same thing happens. Whenever we want to create anything, we want to bring something into our minds, we do not have to have a template somewhere. We do not have to have seen it. We will bring it from nothingness. Yes? And how do we do that? Very same way. By getting clear about it and using the tools that we will be able to discuss. There was this lady which we read about who kept praying that she should not be in a nursing home, and finally got herself there and was wondering and asking the pastor why such like a thing happened, why God gave her what she did not want. But the truth is, God does not object what you are clear about. He does not go against his own laws. So she was there because that is what was in the mind. Imagination is power, and this is part of what we need to know. That everything we think about, we think in pictures and we imagine it, and we will manifest it. Whatever a man's mind can conceive and believe, that he can achieve. W. Clement Stone. So we've got to be clear about something. If we are clear about it, we put it down in goals. This is the same reason people always want you to write goals. It's just to emphasize the reason to be clear. To achieve our goals and objectives, we make them down, we put them down. We must be clear about them. And we say the universe conspires. Everything works for you. It's written in the Bible, all things work together for him who loves the Lord. And that means you are in harmony with the universe. You could be, you will find maybe wild beasts, wind, rain, everything working to help you to achieve the goal that you have set in your heart, even miraculously. Don't worry, they will always look miraculous. But when you understand how things work, you will know that you are making use of the universal power. You are making use of the creative energy that is inherent in you, and you will be able to achieve that which you want from nothing. What are some of the tools that we use? And we talked about goals as the basic tools that we start by, because they help us to get clear about what they want. They become the seedlings of our dreams. We plant them in our heart, in the soil of our minds, and they start growing. We do not need to know how plants grow. We just need to do our work of planting them. And the only major reason majority of the people do not get what they want is because they really do not know what they desire. Yes, they don't get what they desire because they do not know it. They're not clear. They should be crystal clear about it. And so part of the tools we've got to use are goals, because we use them to program our mind. Those are the programming codes, the software that we use to program our mind, which is invisible. We cannot see our mind. You see, you think of your brain as a CPU, a central processing unit of a computer. Brain is a matter, it's tangible. But then your mind is intangible, it's like the software. So how do you program that software? That's the goals. That is it. Imagination is power. So when we put our goals down, we should be able to visualize them. We should be able to imagine them, feel them as if we've already achieved them. Talk about them. Affirmation, part of the tools that we can use, that burning desire that keeps us, we can ignite ourselves. And we remember talking about this boy who wanted to fly, wanted to be to fly planes, and the parents could not see how they were going to achieve that, how they were going to take him to aviation school. But then he managed to do it because he was able to visualize what he wanted in life. He was able to get excited about it and see himself achieving it. And so the summary was, what you resist persists, what you fear will persevere. To desire is to expect, and how is none of your business. It will happen anyway. So we closed the third session by saying, you will be what you will to be. Let failure find its false contempt in that poor word environment. But spirit scorns it and is free. It masters time, it conquers space, it cows that boastful trickster chance, and bids the tyrant circumstance uncrown and fills a servant's place. The human will, that force unseen, the offspring of a deathless soul, can hew a way to any goal, though walls of granite intervene. Be not impatient in delay, but wait as one who understands. When spirit rises and commands, the gods are ready to obey. That's a poem by James Allen. Well, okay, thank you. Yes, Elsie, go ahead.
I was saying goal setting. I mean, I'm big on goal setting, and I can see in your book you've said that setting goals is like, or goals are like seedlings to the dream. And I totally agree with you. So I'm big on, and I agree with you, I've set goals since I left employment 3 years ago. Setting goals every year has been my mission. Every January, I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. Once I do the goals, I also, because I'm a visual person, work on my vision board, and I hang it somewhere. So I also have a vision board that I use. And at the end of the year, when I look back at my vision board, I'm like, wow, I actually put it into action. I put the plan I had into action, and I'm bearing results. So in addition to goal setting for that dream to be realized, I have been practicing visualization, which is the vision boards. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What you've been doing is very scientific. Let me tell you, when you putting the vision board, guess what it helps you to do? It helps you to be clear, and you are now putting those images in your mind. You see, one of the things we love to say is, if I say a dog, D-O-G, dog, you do not see the words. Instead, you're seeing the picture of a dog, and people see different dogs. And that is exactly how the mind thinks. If you want to drive a car, you don't just say a car, because there will be something that appears in your mind, maybe some white small saloon car. But because You want to achieve it. Now, by putting it in a vision board, you'll not just put a car, you will put exactly the one you want. And that is now clarity. So thank you very much. And probably at one point, if people demand, you will show them how you do the vision board. Yes, Aloysius?
Yes, I will.
Thank
mine
you.
is okay.
Morning.
Mine is like a question. The goals we have somebody told me about short term, middle term, and long term. Maybe you can give a clarification on that.
Thank you very much, Aloysius. Short, mid, long. Now, remember last week we were talking about unrealistic goals. Unrealistic. And that is another Pandora's box. You know, when we are using the science that we are discussing, then you'll realize that the long, short, midterm is more intellectual. Sometimes we condition ourselves that this is too big, this one will take too long or so long. This one is easy, it will happen very fast. And that is clearly what our minds can tell us. And if we choose that, it's also okay. You can say that, well, building my house, I'm just looking for a semi-permanent house. This is easy. This one I will do by June. But if I want to build this size of house, it will take me 5 years. That is now the reasonableness, the being reasonable, being realistic and things like that. But sometimes when you're setting goals, this is the way you do it. Do exactly what Elsie is talking about. Just put those things in your mind, put them, if you can put those images somewhere so that you're seeing them. Sometimes we are not in charge of time. Remember, the powers that we are using do not know time and space. Maybe John will want to say something about this. Yeah? John, would you like to comment on this?
Okay, from my world where I live,
Yes.
time is an illusion.
Yeah.
Why am I saying time is an illusion? Because when you live in the moment, when you live in the now, everything happens in the now. I tell people, if you take care of your now, then you're not going to worry about your tomorrow. So the key thing is set your goals now. Time is, when you set your goals now, time is nothing. So when you set your goals now, then it is now that you start working on your goals, not in the next minute, not in the next hour. So it is your now. Every moment that you live becomes very important. And that's where if you want to put time limits, you won't put time limits in terms of in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. No. You will only dedicate that to your now. What are you doing now about your goal? What activities am I implementing at this particular moment? Not 3 months from now. No. Because if you use your now very well, then you will not worry about your tomorrow. So for me, like you said, in the other realms, time is not a thing. So time is an illusion. So you make sure and make use of your now, and then other things will be taken care of. Thank you.
Yeah, all that you want, please just put them down. Don't worry about time. You will be surprised. You'll be surprised. Remember the story I said that my schooling, I had imagined that it will take me 10 years to go to the university, because I thought, because I'm struggling in primary and now in secondary, I don't even have school fees. I will have to go look for jobs, work, or get some business and do, and then ultimately go to the university. But my desire and my mind was clear about going to the university. It happened much, much faster than I thought. When I came to Nairobi, after school and working briefly, I had a desire to live in my own house, not paying rent, and to drive. Literally, everyone will think about that, but many people put them into the chart, put them into, by this age, I will be doing this, which is also another way of setting goals. You see, but now if you want to tap into the max of this particular science we are talking about, you do not want to condition God. Remember, we said you are a partner with God in this. You do not want to tell God that I know this one is so big for you, so I will give you 2 years. This one I know is easy, lunch you will give me. So please stay open, stay receptive, just be an antenna, or we call it transceiver. You transmit and receive what comes. The big word here, and that's why I keep highlighting it, just get clear of what you want, put it in your mind, put it in your heart. Let me give you another exciting example. I left my job earlier. And so I used to see my wife, Edna, keep waking up, and I take her to work, and I'm not a morning person. I keep feeling like, hey, this is a real struggle. Always going to, so I told her, you will have to retire. Yeah, you will have to retire. Not, you will not reach 40, still working. Now, it happened much, much faster than we thought. Opportunities just somewhat opened up, and I think within a few years, she was out of it by 2019. You see? So I'm telling you about things I've done and things I've practiced. I practice them every other time. So don't give God limits. Just allow yourself to set goals. Thank you. I hope you got it. If you choose hours, if you choose time duration, it's okay. That becomes part of the goal. And remember, your wish is my command. If you want it in 10 years, you'll still get it in 10 years. But what if you let it an open check, so that if it's available now, you get it? You have a choice. Thank you. I know that is very north. Any other contribution?
All right. Good morning, everyone. And yes, I'm new here this morning. I just saw a link somewhere, and I thought it wise to also be part of as well the session. And I trust that from what I've listened to is something that I also need to be getting more informed about the same. So thank you so much, the coordinator. I really don't know much about the names and everyone, but thank you for being here and also for accommodating me. Now, my contribution this morning is all about the goals. There is a book written by a lady called Rhonda. It's called The Secret. I think all the things that we are talking about this morning is all in that book. Most of the time as human beings, we normally focus on things that, we don't want. You see, the year is just starting. You hear someone saying, I don't want to be broke. I don't want this. I don't want to pay rent. I want to, maybe I want to live in my own house. Your mind is so powerful in the sense that when you condition it in the sense that I don't want to be broke, it also focuses on you not wanting to be broke. And that is basically also what we are attracting into our lives. But the more we focus our mind on something that we want, you make sure that your goals are very, very clear to you. Most of the time, most of us, or rather most of the people, they just do goal setting. Goal setting is good, but again, we need to do something called goal achievement. Yeah, not just goal setting. Let us do goal achievement. I'm talking about dreams because we set goals, and then those goals are also in line. With the dreams that we want to achieve. So the goals, of course, they lead us to getting to the dream that we want to achieve in the long run. So I believe if someone, let's say, gets to the fact of reading that book called The Secret and also listening to some powerful motivational speakers, like there's a gentleman I know who talks about more of the mindset, how you condition your mind. Your mind will basically, what you are focusing on is basically, where you are focused on is where what you focus on is where energy grows. So if you focus on something, that is basically how you are going to grow it out. So my take home today is about the mind, and also being very, very clear, and also learning that our mind interprets things in pictures. That's why I think we are told about getting a goal, the goal card, and what the other lady talked about, something that, you place pictures, the goal chart of what you want to achieve. Yeah. And, once you do that, definitely that's what you are attracting into your mind. So I think that's my take on this morning. And I'm really glad. And I don't know where I'll be getting the link every single Monday to be able to get more of this, because I'm learning. I think I need to learn all the 7 Ds, because as you're speaking, I only have the first one, the dream, but I've seen from the script, we have discipline at the second one. Possibly I'll get the other ones. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. I was just trying to write. We actually have a WhatsApp group.
The Secret. The book is called The Secret.
Yeah, we actually have a WhatsApp group for people who would like to always get more. You can always get in touch with me. My name is Otieno Peter. Now, thank you very much, Collins, for that contribution. And we remember that we read about, I've just talked about this boy who wanted to be in aviation, and we said that he would pluck magazine pictures and place on his tiny room, and was always fantasizing the idea of flying planes, and that's the way it came in. So let's not be logical about it, because we are finite beings. We cannot reason with the infinite. We cannot reason with the all-knowing, all-powerful God. All that we need to know is what we want and put it in our hearts. We are told, seek and you will find, not seek and if it is there, you will find it. No, seek and you will find. We are told, ask and it will be given to you. We are not told what to ask or what size and when will it be given. These are our own human limitations that we impose with our own logical minds. But there is the subconscious mind, which is what Patrick is mentioning there. There is the objective mind and the subjective mind. Objective mind, we will use it to tell us what we want, and we put the pictures. And then we hand it over to the subjective mind, the subconscious mind, which works throughout. It is what helps your heart to keep running, whether you are sleeping or not. It is this thing that will help you to even learn how to drive, and you drive effortlessly without thinking about it, playing keyboard and everything. It is your subconscious mind. It's so accurate, it's so precise, it's so obedient. And that's why it's a double-edged sword. Whether you think the wrong things or the right things, it doesn't care, it doesn't judge. It is what you put in your mind, that is what it brings to you. And that's why some people will always consider themselves unlucky. Every bad thing happens to them because they are tuned into the negative frequency. Yes.
PP, I find what you've said very, very powerful. We limit God. He says, ask, seek, and knock. And I love what you've just said. Thank you. Thank you for putting it in that way.
Welcome. Susan, you want to say something? Eunice?
Yeah, I want to just agree with what you're saying. Last year, not only last year, but this is the recent one. I think we were in a meeting and we were asked to think of what we want to ask. And I asked for a figure in terms of money. I don't know how, but I have it and I got it before 31st of December. Yeah.
Thank you.
And people were looking at, Mama, how will you get that and all that? I've just asked. We were told to ask. How? I don't know. So it's a powerful thing. And I've also asked some time about a vehicle. And exactly the same vehicle. How? I don't know. So it does work.
Thank you very much for that. How is absolutely beyond your space. It is none of your business. when you plant a tree, when you plant a seed, yours is to plant and water it. How it's going to grow is none of your business. What if you had to ensure that it grows, that you had to know how will it break and all these other things? It's none of your business. Your work is to put the seed, and putting the seed is putting the goal in your mind, making it clear, and believing it is possible. Doubt, fear, and worry will uproot all the seeds that we put in our minds. That's something you've got to know. So the moment you've put it there, stop worrying about it, stop fear or anxiety. If you're looking for money, the moment you start worrying about how will I pay my next rent, how will I pay my this, how will I do this, then things stop working. If you want to know, ask Peter, apostle. He started sinking the moment he started focusing on the waves. When you stop focusing on your goal, you will sink. And you just reminded me that some years back, I had set a goal. I wanted to develop 23. By the way, I set very precise goals. I put some numbers so that it pictures in my mind better, that I'm going to produce 23 leaders in a business. And by August, I had told myself that by August, my mind didn't get it clearly the way I had intended. Instead, my mind interpreted that in August, I want to produce 23. And in August, I produced 23. I had been producing others in the course of, but in August alone, I produced 23. You see, at one point, I set for myself a goal that by December, I was going to earn 102,000 shillings. And before December, I earned 101 and some other things then. So I've learned this thing. At one point, I set for myself that I was going to achieve some level and was going to holiday in Mombasa. And how did I do it? I put the picture of the beach hotel I wanted to go to. And I browsed it online, and that is what I was playing. And it was pegged on achieving a certain goal because that was an incentive. I did it, I achieved it. How is none of your business. Just get clear. That is it. Yes, somebody else wants to say something?
Yes, I would like to say something.
Yes, please.
I do agree with what you're saying about clarity. A few years ago, I was so clear. I went joking with some security guards, telling them that I'm driving and yet I'm walking on feet. And I told them my number plate, and I would ask them to write that number plate on that book that they normally write at the entrances. And I would tell them my vehicle is KCB, KBC, and I kept telling them I walked. And within like the next year, I actually did achieve that goal, and I got a car, and it was KCB. And before I was telling it was KBC. So I think what you're talking about, precision and clarity, is really, it happens. It does happen. So I'm just affirming that you need to be clear on what you set. And of course, now what we're talking about, the fear, doubt, and worry, yeah, that also happens, and you can really lose out because of now just you are worried all the time. You are worried, so you're just, that's what you attract. You attract the people who are just worried like you know, those kind of things. So that's my contribution.
Hello.
Yes.
I think what I'm undergoing now, paradigm shift, because I always thought that you have to be very specific. For example, last year when I wanted to lose a certain number of kilos, I was realistic because I said that nobody can lose more than 500 grams a week. So my cousin sent me the diet. And then after 3 weeks, after following this diet very well, and I was actually focused on what I was going to lose, I realized after 3 weeks, I had lost 3 kilos. So
I think we need also to balance out, because I was focused on losing the weight, and I lost 18 kilos in 18 weeks. And I was very happy with the results. But I think we need to balance things out a bit. And also another thing, the last speaker, Liz, I'm very sensitive about lies. And I believe that we should always tell the truth, because if you tell people that you're driving and you're not, and I find out that you're not driving, the first question will come to my mind is, what other lie has she told? We need to be very careful about telling the truth. You can have this vision, you can write it down and imagine it yourself, but when it comes to other people and telling them what you have, which is not actually there, I don't know, I'm very sensitive to lies. So I'll probably not engage with somebody when I find out that they've lied to me. Usually that's the end of our relationship. I don't know what others think.
Well, I want to correct you, madam. I
Yeah.
didn't get your name. I just want to correct you. My story is, I was at the security guards. That was before I got my car. I used to tell them that I'm driving. Open that rail that I want to get in with. I'm actually walking. I tell them, open it up. I want to get in. And I tell them my registration is KBC. It is not that I'm lying. I'm just saying I used to tell it. I was speaking into my future. And within a year, I got my vehicle. I drive a KCB. So I'm just saying that you speak to your future and it happens.
Yeah, I thought that what we're saying, we should speak the future to our subconscious mind. But you see, like, if, for example, I want to be a doctor and I'm in fourth year medicine and it takes 6 years. And because that's my vision, I tell people that I'm a doctor. Don't you think that is sabotage?
Let me help you, Dr. Eda.
Yeah.
Let me help you get it clearly.
I also want to say something.
Okay. You can add something, then I will help you. What Liz was trying to do is very scientifically correct and accurate. It's what we call affirmation. When that is one of the tools that we use. You affirm what you want, and that is a way of praying for it. Like, I am healed. You do not say I am sick. That is the truth. If you are sick, you say I am sick. You're affirming your sickness. You've had people saying that my heart attack. That you even processed it. So you must affirm that which you want. And she was just trying to fantasize, talking to security guards. Please kindly open for me the gate. But you are walking. No, but you can see that I'm driving. What is the number plate? So it makes it fun. And by the way, that is a very critical element, that you are feeling good and getting excited about it. And it's a sense that we must learn.
You mean that the guards could also see that she wasn't driving?
She's walking in, but telling them that she's driving. So that is the amusement. That, okay, you're driving. Yeah. What is the number plate of your vehicle? And she mentions it.
I understand now. So I think I'm understanding now. I thought that was telling people.
You see the way. You see the way the guards would, when you're walking, they would open for you the small gate.
Yes.
Yeah, I think in her mind, she was telling them, I am driving. The way you open for the others who are driving, in my mind, I know I'm driving. So just open for me the big gate.
Yes.
That is where I need to get in.
Yes.
Okay. Now I understand, but I really need to undergo a paradigm shift and start walking gates with my dream.
It's actually what is there in the Bible. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Yeah.
And what I also told
Let
is that
the poor say,
that are not, and then you speak those things that are not as if they were. There's a book we are reading in our book club with the young people, Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. And in that book, he's telling us clearly how to set those goals. And he says it has to be present. I am an A student. I'm getting A in math. I'm getting A in my physics. It's not that you have the A's, but that's what you're seeing for yourself. And when you do that, it has a way of working on you. So I totally agree with speaking those things that are not as if they were.
Exactly.
You got it.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Odhiambo Lale. Contribute.
I'm a late comer. Excuse me. I was set a goal last evening to finish some report, and I worked until almost 1 o'clock. That's why I overslept. But all the same, I'm happy with this topic, goal setting, and like one of the previous speakers talked about, the setting goals and also results. This month, being the last month of January, I'd said that my goal that be reading minimum of 2 books every month. So now I've already read 1.5 books. So I'm glad that this month has 31 days. So I still have until midnight to finish that second book. And I'm happy to, and all this relates to the power of the subconscious mind. You set your goal and you psych yourself and you'll achieve. Like yesterday, for example, my goal was get up, do my morning devotion, go to church with my daughter, then from church, go to Ngong Forest, do a 10-kilometer walk, then come back and relax. And that's exactly what I did, and I thank God for it. And that just as a practical example of setting goals, and then you psych your mind for it, and you go for it. So by the end of the day, even though after 10 kilometers, I was feeling a bit tired, which is normal, but because the outside temperature was 31 degrees, but inside the forest, it was down to almost 15. By the time we got out of that place, I mean, it was like we were in a deep freeze somewhere. And I think this topic is very good about goal setting and goal results, and also having that positive mind. I like what our sister always talks about, toxic environment. Once you get yourself out of that toxic environment, you can do wonders, and God will really help you do wonders. Because as they say, nature abhors a vacuum. So you fill your mind with positive thoughts. Thank you very much. Be blessed.
Yeah, thank you. I think we've gone over the time. I want to summarize now. One is, Mr. Odhiambo, you need to remember some of the jokes that we crack also form images in our minds and determine our lives. Like people who keep talking about, complaining and talking about January, they tend to reap what they sow. That's the way. Number two, what we say, we visualize. As we've said, our minds think in pictures. So it's good to ensure that everything that we are saying, the pictures that it's bringing in our minds are the real pictures that we want. They are the exact things we want. And number three, Elsie has shared with us a very important aspect, what I thought we would touch on, but we've not reached there. How exactly do we write goals? And she's mentioned it. It's always important to start with I, and it's present simple tense, so to speak. Like, I am now driving. You are not driving. Yeah. Now, problem is our minds, the logical mind, the objective mind will tell us, really? Are you serious? But then the moment you say that and you start visualizing and imagining it, that feeling comes to you. And our work, I always love to teach about this, that your only work in this process is to get it clear and then find a creative way to have you feel what you will feel when you get it. And part of the ways people use is writing those goals in the present simple. I am well. I am getting better. I am improving. I am getting into the right shape. I am in optimal health. I love using the phrase, I am in optimal health. I enjoy optimal health. And I'm always on optimal health, you see. So that is the way it is. We must use the present tense for things, and it will always look like a lie to yourself. But the moment we start imagining how it should be, and we get creative on how to make it fun for us so that we feel it, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So that is one of the tools that we can use, and we call it affirmation. When you are saying it, it is called affirmation. And the more you say it, remember, we always say things inwardly or outwardly. When we say them, it's like we are planting seeds and they will manifest. When we write them, it helps us to get into their mind, to our minds. And we visualize, putting the pictures. Those are all tools we can use. Imagination, all those are tools we can use. Elsie?
You know, I just got an epiphany. I really did. You know, the way you tell us, don't ask how. And then I think in terms of letters, H-O-W. So whenever I'm asking how will it happen? You know what I'm doing? I'm holding off working. I'm holding off putting off the work that is needed to realize the dream. Thank you, OPP, for allowing me to say that. I'm holding off work. H-O-W.
Great, great, great. So,
And also another acronym, the HOW, for those of us who are in recovery, the H stands for humility, honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness.
Okay.
So
Great.
that's how many people who are in recovery from any kind of addiction, they have managed to make it like that by being at the beginning, you're just honest, open-minded, humble, open-minded, and willing to do the work that it takes to get into recovery. How?
Good. Thank you very much. Up to now, I'm sure we've learned about goals. Whatever remains, if you still need further clarifications, now you can get in touch with me directly for further discussion. Maybe I will charge.